Alfred Hitchcock has the esteemed number 66 position on our top 100 movie list of all time. We're talking about North by Northwest, starring Cary Grant and Eva Marie Saint. And James Mason's in here, Martin Landau is in here. This was a sensational espionage thriller from the master.
Well, if we ever get out of this alive, let's go back to New York on the train together. All right?
Is that a proposition?
It's a proposal, sweetie.
Yeah, I think that this movie continues to stand outside of time because there's something so inherently human about the frustration that Cary Grant's character experiences. The movie plays off all the paranoia that you've ever felt about big government because the spy is actually a fictional character who's been invented in Washington by a think tank group who's designed to deceive the bad guys out there. The bad guys think that Cary Grant is the spy who's the fictional character, and so Cary Grant, in pursuit of trying to figure out why they keep thinking he's this guy, winds up back at the guy's hotel room, which is obviously booked under his name, and so they call him while he's there, and they're like, why are you in his hotel room? And you start thinking, like, everything this guy does, every which way he turns, he is only getting himself in deeper. He's only making himself look more and more guilty over the course of the thing.
I don't suppose it would do any good to show you a wallet full of identification cards, driver's license, things like that.
They provide you with such good ones.
So you think this is just some old-timey movie that your parents might have enjoyed from the late 50s, and then you sit down, you start watching it, and you find yourself just pulled into this story, and you can't take your eyes off this film.
Yeah, it works on a bunch of different levels. Obviously, Cary Grant is a perfect guy to kind of pin as this gallant, suave, debonair kind of spy type, so he kind of fits with that whole spy mystique thing. But this was also the 50s. The Cold War was in full effect back then. There was a lot of blacklisting going on in Hollywood. There was a lot of boogeyman. There was a lot of suspicion, a lot of people pointing fingers at other people. And I think Hitchcock... It's still going on today with different kinds of rationale behind
it. The Red Menace is gone.
Yeah, so this does play on everybody's paranoia. It's also a road picture, and Hitchcock, I think, always liked to make movies that operated on a bunch of different levels in your mind, you know? So this is a beautiful kind of portrait of Americana, because we go on this road trip through some smaller towns. There's the iconic crop dusting, chasing Cary Grant sequence through the cornfields. There's also the amazing climactic sequence that takes place on Mount Rushmore.
Well, you know, my favorite aspect of the movie, and it is a road picture, you're absolutely right, because he just travels from one destination to another. The best part, though, is it takes place on a train. This is kind of the old movie kind of train where it just seems endless and boundless, and you just see Hitchcock's camera exploring every aspect of the train. I mean, you're looking at these dining cars that seem massive, and they can't possibly be actual dining cars. No way would they scale to the size of an actual train. But also, you know, we mentioned a lot of people there in the cast. Eva Marie Saint, who I think has never been more luminescent than she is in this movie. I mean, as soon as she walks on screen, she just lights up the picture. I mean, who wouldn't want to be stuck on a train with Eva Marie Saint? I mean, this is a fantasy of every red-blooded male out there.
Nice of him to have opened the bed.
Yes.
And Cary Grant is weathered. You know, he looks like he enjoys plenty of gin, and yet all the ladies seem to follow him around and fall for him and fall for his charms, and he's so slick and so smooth.
He is a movie star, but he's an advertising guy, and for him to kind of just roll with the punches of this, literally and figuratively, is pretty incredible, but you can only believe this because of who Cary Grant is. He looks like a guy that could hold his own in any type of situation, and he has to.
It's going to be a long night.
True.
And I don't particularly like the book I've started.
It certainly was Hitchcock in sort of peak form.
It doesn't age, man.
Yeah, it's still worth watching whenever you want. Especially, it doesn't age when we have modern celebrations like Mad Men, you know, that so clearly borrow from the look and feel and vibe of a movie like this, you know, and everybody
smokes back then.
Everybody smoked.
Smoking and drinking.
We got a little head start here, Mr. Thornhill.
Oh, that won't last long.
Starring Larry and Fanning, you may be slow in starting, but there's nobody faster coming down the home stretch.
But I think
that was the name of the game.
The studios gave him the money to make something really grand, and it's really fun to watch Hitchcock play with the money, play with the movie stars, play with the set pieces.
What do we do?
Climb down.
We can't.
Here they come. We have no choice.
Congratulations to North by Northwest from 1959. Is this the oldest movie we've had in the countdown?
Yeah.
Might be. You are number 66 in our countdown of the 100 greatest films of all time.